Last time we gave Coral Cloud Guest Concierge a voice. It can talk about the cancellation policy and sound like a concierge, but it couldn't actually do anything. Today we fix that. We are going to build an auto launch flow that finds an alternative excursion and update the booking, the real engine behind the conversation. One important mind shift for this module, we are leaving Agent Builder behind entirely and working purely in Flow Builder. This flow doesn't know anything about Agentforce, sub-agents, or the reasoning engine, and that's by design. It's a self-contained piece of business logic. We connect it to the module, which we are going to do in 5. Quick question you might ask, why auto launch flow and not a screen flow? Auto launch flow runs silently in the background with no user interface, which is exactly what an invocable action needs. Whether that action is called by a person, by other automation, or by an agent force, custom agent action. Screen flows expect a human clicking through screens, and that's not our use case here. Before we launch Flow Builder, let's sketch the shape of this thing. We take in a booking reference, look up the actual excursion booking record, search for an open alternative slot on the same excursion, decide whether we found one, and if we did, update the booking status and date. Simple in concept, we just need to build each piece carefully. I already have a flow build, so let me just walk into the flow. So this is that flow. So this is an auto launch flow. At the very first thing, it's going to check whether the guest user is identified or not. And to do that, it is going to check if the guest ID is null and it equals a blank value or not. Okay. And if the guest is identified, that's the second one. So there are two things. So now let's see guest ID over here. So guest ID is defined as an input variable from an outside system. Guest ID will be fed over here. If guest ID is identified, then we are going to query the excursion and get all the excursion where the excursion name is there, the date is there. This will be provided by the user while communicating. And we also have that particular guest ID. Once we have the guest ID or the booking, then we are cross-checking is that booking cancel only, where we are checking the status. If it is cancel, then we are checking for the same excursion name, do we have anything which is open? And the start and the slot date of that excursion has to be greater than the date when this particular interview is being done. If we get that, then we are going to update that excursion booking, which the user provided. We are going to update the date and the status. And we are going to set the output values over here. To achieve all these things, we have created, let me just close. So if I look over here, we have created various variables where we have a variable by name message, which is for output. Then we have the status value, which is for output. Now, all of these which are for output will be passed on by the flow back to the agent. Let's go back to presentation. So this is what we were doing over here. We just went ahead and created then we have these input variables. So let's go through these variables one by one. The input one. So we have got two paths. The ideal path where we are exactly handling the excursion booking record ID, and a fallback path using the excursion name and date. In case the caller only knows those details, we will only take in the guest contact ID. So later we can enforce that instruction from module 3 about only touching the guest own booking. Mark every one of these as available for input. Then we are going to look up the booking record on the object excursion booking, and we are filtering it whether it matches the excursion name or date or the guest ID. Then we are cross-checking whether the booking which has been retrieved, whether its status is cancelled or not. Then we are trying to find the alternate slot. If the slot is found, then we are going to update the booking. And then we have got output variables. And this defines what flow hands back when it's done. We want the new status, the new excursion date, if one was assigned a Boolean flag, or whether the rebooking actually happened, and a short human readable message. These four outputs are what the agent will eventually read to compare it, to compose its reply to the guest. Now the payoff element, update records. We are updating the same booking record we retrieved earlier. We are going to set the status as reschedule excursion date to the date from the slot we just matched. And after the assignment, we are going to use an assignment element to populate our four output variables. Now let's take a step back and look at the whole canvas. We get the booking, confirm it's actually cancelled, search for an open slot, confirm we found one, update the record, assign outputs, and end. Every branch has somewhere sensible to go. Nothing dead ends without an output. So once you have created the flow, then you will save the flow and activate it. If needed, we can debug it also. So we have got these input elements. So for example, let's enter the input ones first. So we have this particular booking, 7/22/2026. Then we have got guest ID. So this is my guest. I'll just copy this contact ID. Let's only give these two and then see. So the guest is identified. So it says is booking cancelled. Since it is not cancel, there is no. So over here says no action needed. This time, let's debug it. And we are also going to provide a record ID. So this record ID is the booking ID. So this time it says it found the booking, says cancel, and then it's going to find an open slot and it's going to update it. And then it is going to set the output variable. So these are the 4 output variables it's going to set. So this is what the debugging is. So let's recap. This flow now reliably finds an alternative slot and updates the excursion booking record. And we have proven that standalone with no dependency on the agent whatsoever. That separation is deliberate. If something ever breaks in production, you will know immediately whether the problem is in the flow logic or in the how the agent is calling it. Next up, module 5, where we wrap this flow as a custom agent action, teach the Coral Cloud excursion sub-agent when to call it, and lock down exactly who is allowed to run it.